The camera caught me horror farming. The opposition is within range, and my mortar found its target. Now everybody wanna bargain. Nah, buddy gotta pay full price, so you gon' have to beg my pardon. Pardon my bag, don't understand where my heart was at. Helping niggas out, and in return it gave me heart attacks. I'm not with it, but I don't do no barking back. I'm authentic. If you ask me, ain't no heart in that. We've all witnessed.
Did you feel like they did match you up pretty well?
Let me see. Hell no.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No, absolutely not, dude. Listen, Carly and I have zero relationship. Like, I want nothing to do with Carly, you know? Like,
I
it
know,
was,
I know this is gonna sound so like
Yeah.
Gen Z, but it was like, I noticed you guys don't follow each other on Instagram.
no,
Like,
fuck
I
no.
was
I don't
like,
follow Carla. I
Yeah.
want nothing to do with her or any of her family members. Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like, look, if I ever said anything about anything, it was all things that happened on the show. You know, like, you're never gonna catch me talking about anything behind the scenes that I think could compromise any of my,
Can't do it.
my colleagues.
Your brand, right? At the
You
end
know
of
what I
the-
mean?
Yeah.
It's just these are people that I care about. Why? How could I ever? You know what I mean? But if it's shit that you did on the show, then I'm gonna talk about it because it's fair game, dude. You did it on the
100%.
show. What do you want me to do?
Yes.
You know, like, dude, I'll tell you this. One of the things that really surprised me that I just was like, and I wasn't trying to be an asshole or anything. I was just like when we were trying to cook, and this was in one of the episodes, and she was trying to turn on the gas
Oh,
oven.
yeah.
I just couldn't. It didn't. Like, I'm like, man, how does a 30-something-year-old person never been confronted with a gas oven in their life? You know?
Yeah. At some point in
Confronted
your
is a
life, you
crazy
thought that.
term. Confronted's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, face to face with a gas oven. What do I do in this situation? I mean, that's how you turn on gas grills, you know?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
You go to the
Yeah.
little thing that has like the
Turn the
lightning
propane on
bolt,
first. You
the
turn the
lightning
knob first,
bolt,
and then you light
it
it.
goes
Yep.
dig it, and then a flame turns on. So things like that. I was like, I'm not trying to be mean, but those are that kind of things that are that were critical for me. That were like, okay, well this is like a red flag. Like what's going on here? And look, I cook like a motherfucker. I'm like, I learned how to cook. I cook all kinds of stuff. I cook for my woman all the time here.
Should just have a basic competency exam for the show or something. Maybe even just in life. You know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah.
can you, and for both sexes, but just like, can you operate a dishwasher? Are you familiar with how to brush your teeth, basic hygiene? Like, just like need that.
Yeah, and Carla wasn't terrible. You know what I mean? She
No,
wasn't
no, yeah.
terrible. But again, it was just not a good match. And I think from her end too, she just tolerated me, because I didn't give her anything that she wanted, like she wanted something totally different. But what was that supposed to do? Go over there? Like, the thing about being on reality TV too is that you're gonna get judged just because, like, regardless of what you do. Like, imagine this. Imagine if I would have engaged with Carla, knowing that I just wasn't into her.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Then, oh my God, the entire country would have been like, this guy taking advantage of Carla. I can't believe him.
Yeah, the
What a
storylines would have
piece
been
of
way
shit.
different.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my
Facts.
God, blasphemy, Juancho.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would take advantage of a woman like that, And then here I am trying to be a good guy. Like, look, I'm going to treat her with respect. I'm going to, oh, Juan is gay.
Listen. Hey, if anyone is on the show that would be gay, it definitely ain't you. I got to go with Casey on that one. And I ain't afraid to say it, bro. That dude, I don't know, man. There was something about that dude. I was like, does he actually like women? I don't know. Dude.
Yeah, well, I
don't
think
know.
he, again, it was like one of those situations for him too. I mean, that he was, it was just like, you're in a position that you're like, man, it's harder. It's easier said. Like, you got to be in that person's shoes to like really understand the complexity of how you manage your thoughts and feelings, and you navigate through something as complex as that. All of a sudden you're living with a person that you really don't like, or you really don't.
You just have to
Or not
tolerate
compatible.
almost too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Or
yeah.
you're butting heads with, and for them, they just had a really hard time, in my opinion, controlling their emotions.
Yeah.
I think Carla and I you know, either one of us could have easily, went at each other
You
during the
guys
show,
seem
but
to do a good job of both keeping it cool.
we kept it civil, man. We kept it professional, you know, and not in the sense of like we were just doing it, just to make it through. It's just we were trying to really be respectable to each other,
Yeah.
and be I mean, that's the whole part of the experience. You're supposed to like try the things out and do the exercises, like who knows? Like I thought at the beginning, I was like, well, shit, like I don't really see anything here, but fuck it, let's try this out and
Right.
see if anything blossoms from this situation. I
Yeah.
never did.
Wow.
Yeah.
One, were you a reality TV show guy? Like, did you watch reality TV show before you went on? And then since the show, do you dive into them more now because you've been on?
So I never watched Married at First Sight in my life, and I haven't watched it since. Like I didn't watch one episode of the latest season, not one.
But did you go back and watch your season?
I did watch my season as it went
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Yeah. And
What was that like? Did it
so,
feel weird?
so it what I liked the most about it was that all of my friends and family were on there. Like for me it was so cool to see everybody and putting them on TV, really. That was the best part because everybody's like, "Oh my God," like you're watching it with your friends. They're taking screenshots of themselves,
Yep.
and that was fun. I think the weirdest part is that they kind of clown you, like production clowns the shit out of you because they know
Really?
that, yeah, dude, like, all right, so, at the time when we filmed this, I'm living by myself, so I have like a 1-bedroom apartment, like I'm a man, there's no
In a
women
good part of
involved
the
in this.
city too, right? You were right off
Oh yeah,
Magnolia.
when
Huh?
they
So like everybody's like saying like, oh, Juan's like, look at his apartment, like he said, like, I don't even know, they made a million comments.
Ah,
And then,
when they hit you with the room raiders.
yeah,
yo,
exactly.
Room Raiders is good
Yeah, yeah,
shit.
dude, that's taking it way back.
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit,
love
I
that.
forgot
Yes,
about
they
that.
hit you with the
Yeah,
room
they
raiders
they
there.
got
Oh
the
yeah.
white glove and the black
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
The black.
But man, it's funny because when you look at my apartment on TV, it's like I live in this like shit show of an apartment.
It didn't look
But
bad to me. I don't, I'm
but
a dude,
production,
so
like
maybe.
production would come here and they would go out on my balcony. They'd be like, "Oh my God, Juan, we love your view, man. This is amazing. We love your apartment." But then when you look at it on TV, it's like, oh, this fucking bum can't even buy a new couch.
Dude,
So I mean,
And
I
then they
get it
blame it on
though.
post production. They're like, "Oh, sorry, man. It's the way those guys edit, man. Sorry." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean but that's the gist of the it's TV. At the
yeah.
end of the day, it's
Yep.
TV, and that's what people need to understand. That like when you see it, when you see it there, it's probably far worse than it really is. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like
Yep.
like I'm sure David's situation's probably not the greatest, whatever at the time, but I'm sure like in his personal life, if you were his buddy and you went to visit him there, it probably wasn't as bad as like
No, as
they
they made
showed
it.
it to be on the show, like
Yeah.
they really amplify everything because they know they want to get reactions out of people, like, you know what I mean?
Want the drama.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
They love the drama. The other thing is funny is like, uh, and let me one of the things I do like wish that I would have done different during the filming of the show was not take shit so personal when people were like, I guess if anybody else is thinking about going on reality TV, don't engage in social media because I did.
Ooh,
And I thought
good point.
I came unscathed pretty good out of the show of the filming. So I thought, I don't have a problem talking to people, answering questions, telling them like even if they don't understand it, like telling them my motives of why I went on the show. Um, but then it's a bad idea. Don't do it. If you do it, like if you do a reality TV show, don't go on Reddit, don't go on X, don't like and in fact, like people that make bad comments or send me bad messages, which aren't a lot. I don't get a lot of hate. Um, thank God. I just delete them and block them because I don't have to go look at that. I delete the comment, I block the person. I mean, why am I gonna keep some
Simple.
idiot there? Like I don't engage and I just delete and block.
Yeah.
Easy. They can go
Yeah.
talk
It
shit
makes
about
sense.
me. Yeah, they can go to Reddit and talk shit about me. I don't want to see it. you know?
Yeah, like
So
it's like if someone came up to your house and started yelling what an asshole you were, it's like you wouldn't play a recording of it and just like let everyone know
Yeah.
that at some point someone walked up to your house and was like shouting that you're an asshole, but then you like leave the comment. It's basically the same thing. You
yeah,
know,
so it's
just,
like yeah,
just
so it's like
reminded
you just
everyone.
yeah, delete and block, dude. Get out of my life. I don't want to see you. I don't even know you, like, so I don't care. But it's not
That
a lot.
yeah.
I don't get them a lot, But that's the one thing I do because there's things that I took personal. Like for example, my career, like like for example, Flightmate. I started that app and it's still going. Like you can still go and download it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it has not been a success, you know.
You take chances
Um,
when you're an entrepreneur like
but
that,
that's
though.
what you got
Everybody
to do.
knows
You got
that.
to take
Yeah.
chances. And I'm not like there's several different research papers. Like MasterCard did a research paper in 2024 on the outlook of travel in 2025, and they talk about things like my app. Like people want to connect when they travel. Um, so there's research out there that shows that the concept is good. It's just I feel like I just haven't had the marketing, you know, dollars to spend
It's all
on.
Behind it.
marketing with that
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah,
There,
because
what I don't know what it's called, but there is an app that's like it's supposed to be like you look at a map. It's almost like a snap map, but it's like specific to like people that are like traveling and open to meeting
yeah,
friends and
meeting
stuff out
friends.
there.
Yeah,
And it's like, hey, we're going to go do this. Like we're driving dune buggies on the dunes at 7
yeah,
p.m. on the beach
Yep.
here or something.
yeah.
Like meet us. We can have 3 extra people or something like that. Like
Yeah.
no, the space is good, 100%.
Yeah, and
It's
listen, the travel industry, it moves 100 million people a day globally.
Yes. Every
So there's
day.
definitely a market. It's a $1 trillion market. So like it's one of those things where people can be like, "Oh, that guy's an idiot. That's a terrible idea." But dude, if it hit, it
Yeah.
would
yeah.
have been a
You ain't gonna
Just
be
phenomenal
because you
saying
idea.
that
I
never
would
shit.
have
flew
been a
anywhere,
genius.
buddy.
Yeah, this guy's
Yeah.
a genius, I
Yeah,
mean, but
yeah.
that's how everything starts. So like my thing is, I created the app, I paid a bunch of money to develop it, which was nuts. Um, I don't even know how I came up with all the money to be honest with you. And then because back then there was no AI when I started building the app. Now like people are writing apps with freaking AI. They're just
Yeah.
kind of telling it what to do and it writes a code. Next thing you know, you got to really I met a guy at a tech event that has like a phenomenal app that he built with AI. But anyways, I actually paid developers to build this thing and I paid a lot of money and it was a flop. It's been a flop, but I haven't gave up on it because the market's still there. Like people are
Yes.
still flying every single day. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and the damn thing took off. But that was one of the things where it hurt, because I put a lot of time and effort into that. I put a lot of
Yeah.
money. I put a lot of passion and love, and I still am. I'm
It's
still
your
pushing
baby.
for it. And then the other thing that, I guess, you know, I, I don't think people understood what I do, because so I do mill work, and I don't know if you guys understand the terminology.
Yeah, we know millwork. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically cabinetry, and I started my career building science labs with a company. And then I left that company. I took some time off. I had a client that um, asked me to help them on a project, and I performed on a $250,000 project, and it went well. We made money at last. That was when I was working with this guy Tyler. I'm no longer working with him. I'm independent. I started my own company. Um, you know, I started my first year. I did $20,000 in revenue. That was 3 years ago, and right now I'm at 1.4 million in revenue.
Hey,
So we
we'll have
do.
Drew sign off the alarm bells for that
Yeah,
one.
for
Let's
real.
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and
Congrats.
it's no bullshit, man. Like I don't have anything to prove to anybody. But I'm looking at my numbers right now. Right now I'm at 1.3 million.
Dude,
So it went
that's
from 20,000 and then last year I did 761,000.
well, that's
And
it.
so it's grown and I'm a certified minority business entity for the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. I'm going after my national certification because I want to be a minority business supplier for science labs equipment specifically. So like glassware washers, fume hoods, biological safety cabinets, and furnish these things for universities universities and research facilities because specifically universities they always want like minority. They have minority goals. So there's not a lot of minorities that participate in the lab space. So, I'm one of the only guys. So I'm doing a lot of work at University of Chicago.
Nice.
I'm doing a lot of work with Chicago Public Schools, and then a lot of water treatment facilities. So, people never understood what I did, but I think that people, when they think about an entrepreneur or somebody that owns a business, they think like this person, like it's someone that has like 50 employees and they have like a facility and offices, but the landscape of entrepreneurship has changed, dude. Like I literally run my business out of this right here, right now. It's 80 square feet. My office is 80 square feet. That's
Yeah.
what I claim on my taxes, 80
Yeah.
square feet. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Of my rent. And literally it's like my business license is a home-based office. That's
Love
it.
that, dude.
But I'm a distributor. I'm a dealer. You know what I mean? So I don't warehouse anything. Everything goes direct to the job site and everything gets, JIT manufactured just in time, right? So basically, like I'm the estimator. Um, I do all the billing, so I manage all the projects. I have 3 engineers that do drawings for me, like shop drawings. I produce all the product data and submittals. I do the job site visits, and then I have, luckily in Chicago and in the state of Illinois, it's a union state for commercial projects because I only do commercial projects. So I have a union company called Casework Creations that does all my installations, and it works.
Wow.
These guys are my eyes in the field. I have great partnerships with different factories and suppliers around the country. And man, I mean, my clients like, plastic laminate, wood, stainless steel, steel cabinetry, fume hoods, biological safety cabinets, equipment, laboratory supplies. I mean, we do everything. And I run it right here out of my apartment, one employee.
And are you
Wow.
PMing as well? Are you project
Yeah,
managing,
I'm
I
the
would assume?
project manager.
Wow, good
Yeah.
for you,
Right
man.
now I'm running like, I'll tell you, I have like, right now I have like, 33 projects that I'm running
Working,
myself.
motion.
That's yeah. So
It's
so what? Oh, go ahead, Jared. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say really quick. I was like, it's crazy. You'll do all of that, be running 33 projects at the same time, and then people will hear that, and then they hear you say like, "Oh, 1.3 mil this year," and they go, "Must be nice to be that lucky," you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Dude.
dude, it's hard work.
Yes.
People don't understand how much hard work. I wake up at 4 in the morning every day and I work till 7, 8 o'clock at night. And then I go to the gym. There's always time to go to the gym. And I have
Love
a
it.
relationship and I have friends and I do stuff outside of work. I play soccer. Like, um, you know, it's really input equals output, man, but I think like, I'm in a phase in my life where you got to make a decision. Like, I think it's whatever you want your life to be, like, I don't know. I think that I like working hard and I like making money and I like, not only the other thing is like, I'm trying to get involved in, especially specifically with the Latin American community, because to help other, minority entrepreneurs, um, grow as well, because how do you get access to funds? I started my company. I didn't have money. I didn't have one dime, dude. I literally last year, I remember I booked all this work. Imagine this. Let's say you have a company and you do $800,000 or $1 million in sales, right? Part of that is cost, right? So there's a margin because revenue, you can't like revenue is very it's a fictitious number because
Yeah,
it's not
gross can sound
it
great. What
sounds
did you net?
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really
Yes.
about what you net.
Facts.
But the thing about it is that revenue does matter because that's what the banks look at. If a bank's going to give you some money, they're going to be looking at your revenue. Like a lot of people look at revenue because it's good because you're moving money. At the end of the day, the banks want to see how much money you can move through the
Yeah,
bank.
yeah, there's
No
room in
matter how
there to
much.
be making money. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because that's money that they're utilizing to lend other people to grow their business as well. Because a bank is a business, right? So like last year, I did that kind of volume with no credit with anybody. I had a client of mine who I'm very thankful for, KR Miller Contractors here in Chicago, who the girl over there that she cuts my checks, one day she was just like, like how are you doing this? It's like people trust me, man. Like I have good
That's awesome.
relationships with my suppliers. They trusted me. And one specific supplier of mine, my partner, and they're out of Michigan. Um, Honestly, they've been God sent, man, because Doug and Michelle, who run the factory where we make most of our cabinetry, they have, I mean, at one point, I went up to pick up an order one time because sometimes if I have like 2 or 3 jobs or 4 jobs that I can put in one truck, I'll just rent a 26-foot truck, drive it
Nice.
up to Michigan and drive that bitch back and
Hell yeah, dude.
make my
That's
deliveries
awesome.
myself. I'll deliver the damn product too,
Love
man.
that, dude.
Yeah. But one day I was sitting with Doug and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, Doug, last year I owed you like at one point, I owed you like 400 grand. Did you,
Damn, dude.
at any point, did you think that I wasn't going to pay you?" And he was like, Juan, it crossed my mind. I'm not going to lie.
Just for a second, dude.
Yeah, just for a second. But I would never, man. Like, if you talk
You
to
seem
any
like a
of
good
my
dude.
suppliers, everybody gets paid on time. I'm the last one to take a check. And I think that's what you got to do when you run a business. You got to be an honest entrepreneur. You got to be honest with your suppliers, with your customers. And that's what it is, man. You just got to do the best you can. Make sure you're on time. Make sure you provide a quality product. Partner with good suppliers. But that's one of the things that kind of like hurt me the most because I came to this country. I didn't have a damn nothing. My parents, we were poor, dude. Like we lived. I remember we lived in my cousin's house, and we were living in a room, and I slept with my mom and my dad and my little sister in a king size bed and like maybe that people that saw like Tyler's warehouse, that's his warehouse, that's not mine, he pays for that thing. And they're like, well, what do they do out of there? Like there's such like, it's all smoke and mirrors with Juan. It's like, nah, motherfucker, it's not.
So
In fact, in
go ahead.
fact,
Yeah.
in fact, I see Tom from the show, he's my banker.
Tom from the show. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so
Okay.
he can talk for
He
what
can
I do.
validate. Yeah.
He can validate because I
So
see him, especially during busy season. I see him like once a week because he signs all my he notarizes every single one of my payment waivers.
yeah. So
Damn.
I was gonna ask you, is that what you were alluding to? Is like, I guess to tie in another question, like what may be the biggest misconception that people got wrong? Would you say it's like about
I
like
think it's that. I think
what you
that
did for? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that people think that I was all smoke and mirrors, and it's not, dude.
Yeah.
And in fact, like the my best relationship is with Camille and Tom because I
They
see
seem to have
Tom.
good relationship because David and Madison hang out
Yeah.
with them too. They seem like
Yeah, yeah.
good people.
And I
Yeah.
haven't seen David and Madison. I'm cool with David and Madison. And, every once in a while I'll call Michelle and Alan, but obviously I see Tom I see Tom all the time. Like I'm doing I'm donating some money to another one of my clients, Reed Construction, because they do a big like benefit. And I got 2 tickets to the Cubs to go to this big party they're throwing at the stadium, and Tom's gonna be my guest.
Let's go.
So like, like I think that's the biggest misconception everybody got, that I was just I was on there talking a bunch of bullshit, and it's not. It's all real, man. Like I've busted my ass for this.
I mean, listen, if there was anyone talking bullshit, Juan, I mean,
Yeah,
if you
man.
get what I'm saying with what
I
they
wasn't
did.
I wasn't full of shit at all, man. Like
You just needed, you know, what you needed crystals to tell you
I
what you
needed
should have
crystals
did.
to
You
tell
needed
me
more
the
crystals. You
future.
needed more readings. You needed
Yeah.
more spiritual awakenings, because then you wouldn't have
I
had any
needed
issues, dude.
There you
There
go.
you
I
go.
needed sound bowls.
You didn't, my guess is you weren't at 432 hertz. If you had actually hit 432 hertz, I think you'd probably be
A
singing a
different
different
wavelength
tune,
at
dude.
that point.
Yeah, no, but you were probably around 530,
Didn't
529.
quite make it there. That's funny, man. But yeah, I would
Man,
say that's the biggest misconception people had, that a lot of people thought I was just bluffing, and it wasn't a bluff, like, and I'm very proud of what I do, and I'm very thankful to God for the blessings, because it's not been easy, like, I mean, you get to a point where you're like, damn, how the fuck am I gonna pay people? And you don't even know if like the money's coming in. And I didn't have a line of credit until this year, because they're not gonna give you a line of credit unless you have like 2 years of business under your belt.
right,
You
right.
know what I mean? So it like, dude, it was hard, man. I mean, I was using like to make it through last year. I had to ask my mom literally to get a credit card to let me use a credit card because I already maxed 2 of mine,
Yep.
and then I had to get a third for my mom. And then finally this year, Tom was able to help me, get a line of credit.
Nice. Shout out to Tom, man.
Tom, dude, that's
Yeah.
my boy.
Dude,
I-
that's a real G
Yeah.
right
I
there.
took him and Camille to brunch the other day, like as a thank you, like.
Listen, they were trying to clown Tom on his suits, and I was like, listen,
No, Tom's got a
any guy who's got a
suit game.
suit game like that, I don't know what there's
Yeah.
to hate on, dude.
I mean,
I
that's
ain't
not
got
a
nothing
cheap.
close to
He doesn't have a cheap closet. Think about
No.
he's probably got at least $5,000 worth of suits in his closet.
Easily. That's
Easily.
why, yeah. When I forgot Doctor whatever his name was, tried kind of making
Dr.
fun
Pia,
of.
was it
Yeah,
Dr. Pia?
yeah. Tried kind of clowning on Thomas's suits. I'm thinking like, dude,
Yeah,
my
that
suit game
dude's-
ain't nowhere near this dude's. I
I
don't know
don't-
what.
They hate
Me
to see
neither.
men happy on these shows, man. I'll tell you
Oh
what,
my
male
God,
joy
100%.
is
He did it.
toxic on these shows.
Toxic.
They're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, he's at the house that he owns right now. He's using his golf simulator in his garage. It's just like, yeah,
What
guy
a-
sounds
what a
sick,
loser.
or whatever it is. Yeah, it's just anything.
What an
They're
arrogant
allergic
asshole.
to men.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's prioritizing his own happiness and well-being and is like engaging in his hobbies, man. What a narcissist.
What a dick, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I mean, I think that was probably like the thing that I wish I would have changed, was like not engaging with the people making all the comments and all the bullshit.
I kind of got caught up in that one. We posted some reels for David, and obviously the whole him and Madison situation. Obviously, there's people who support it, and there's people that don't. And one day, I just had the time, man. And I know Jared and Drew probably saw the comments going off, but this girl just her profile spoke for itself, and
Yeah.
why she was leaving some of these comments. But I was going back and forth, and then I stopped after maybe like a good 30 minutes, and I was like, what am I doing? It's like, I don't need to engage with that, but something about her specifically just...
Yeah.
Because
And I'm
that's a
telling you-
healthy mental thought process.
look, most of these people that actually go and engage and leave these types of comments, you go and look at their Instagram, their
Losers.
social media pages, and it's like
Yeah, it's their pet lizard in a
it's
smoothie or
like-
something
it's
like that.
it's
Yeah.
like 1,000 pictures of cakes.
Or no pictures. Or there's no pictures, and you're just like, how the fuck are you even comment on
Yeah.
shit? You don't even got a
Yeah.
picture on your
Yeah, like a
profile.
2008 Android photo of
Yeah,
something
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, they were taking like 50 pictures of flowers on their flip phone. I mean, yeah, that's the kind of people that make these comments, and some of these people are really broken inside. I mean, I think like if you have the time in your life to go and make and leave comments, negative stuff for people,
Go
like
pour some
online,
concrete,
like
dude.
To
What
have
are you doing?
such a visceral
really wrong with
reaction to
you.
an episode of Married at First Sight and be like, I gotta set this guy straight. It's funny though, because I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, I'm thinking of people. So like, at my last company, I used to do consulting, and so we traveled for work. And I was in a business office, like a healthcare, like a hospital business office. So where they like file claims, you could, cubicle farm kind of a deal. And ended up having to get partnered up with this one lady that worked in the office for something like a project I got.
Yeah.
And so she was talking to me, but do you know who the Property Brothers are?
Yeah.
No,
The HGTV
You ever
guys?
seen that show? HGTV, the Property Brothers?
no, I've never seen it.
Dude, you gotta you just look up. If you just type in Property Brothers, you'll see them. But they're like these twin brothers, and they're just like they have the
Yeah.
like celeb chef kind of
funny.
smile or something. But it's like this really popular HGTV show or whatever. And she kept talking about it. And I was like, dang, she really loves this fucking Property Brothers show. Like, what is it, dude? And I'm not kidding. And then it all happened in the same moment. And then she mentions that she went not on just one, but like 3, I think, Property Brothers cruises.
Dude.
So these guys like have their own cruise ship
What?
that's themed after them, and she's gone. And then I swear it was like a horror movie. I look at her desk, and not that I
It
just
was
never
all
got too
property brothered
personal.
out, dude.
Dude, it was all pictures of her with the Property Brothers, not a family member, not a cat,
dude, that's
nothing.
a mental.
It was just her.
That's a mental.
with only with the Property Brothers. And so like as you're sitting here talking about all these people, I'm like, those are the kind of people that have time.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I mean,
true.
I
They
don't
go on
have,
vacation with them.
yeah, I don't have time for it, man. I don't Like, I don't have time to be on the internet all the time. I don't, like, I don't know. It just,
You got other shit. You got other shit going
yeah,
on,
Yeah,
man.
you
It's
go
just
on the
it's
Married at First Sight cruise and you're just working on your laptop in the bar, drinking a pina colada the whole time.
keep
Being
yeah.
great.
leaning,
Yeah, it's
dude.
over here. Come on. Yeah.
Keeps leaning.
The
Juan,
other thing, yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna ask, what's been like, because Chicago, a huge city, right? I mean, second
Yeah.
largest city in the country. I know David said he's had moments where he's been kind of spotted out. What's kind of like the wildest or funniest like interaction you've had from like somebody who
Yeah.
just kind of pulled up
So,
on you, man? Anything?
it's funny that you asked that question because I was getting ready to go into that topic about like what it's like, so like, I think that, one thing that people need to understand if they're going to go on any kind of reality TV show is that it's not going to change your life, dude. Like,
Right.
it's not gonna, you're not gonna be Brad Pitt out there. You're not gonna be
Leo
Jennifer
DeCapin.
Aniston. Like, people aren't gonna be walking down the street like, oh my God, like,
Right. Yeah.
I
So
love
many
you.
hoes throwing.
Yeah,
This is where we're gonna
yeah,
see all of the engagement on the
yeah,
interview just drop off because it's like all the females that want to be influencer gonna hear you say that and be like,
yeah.
but
No, I mean, and here's the thing, like, so there's a company that I work with, and really nice girl. Her name's Mia, and she works for I think it's Green Curtain Events here in Chicago, and they put a lot of they put a lot of events together. And we had she asked, she gives me tickets and stuff because we kind of like started talking about working as an influencer for them. And so I did a thing for St. Patrick's where I just shared, stuff for them. And then I did another thing for the Kentucky Derby, and they hooked me up with like a table and some drinks and like their
Oh, yeah.
partnership.
Yeah. Use that celebrity,
Yeah.
dog. Shit.
So, you get stuff like that, but for anyone that thinks that they're gonna go on reality TV and then they're gonna all of a sudden be like the Kardashians, it's not gonna happen. You're not that special, dude. Like, and it hasn't happened to, I mean, if you go look at all of the contestants, all the people that have been on Married at First Sight, nobody has that,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and most reality TV shows, because TV is like inundated with this, and now it's not only reality TV, it's also, I mean, there's a reality TV for everything.
Oh,
It's also like social media influencers.
yep.
But let me tell you, man, like, if anybody thinks that they're gonna go and like, be an influencer and make a ton of money,
It's not
it ain't
happening.
gonna happen,
It's
dude.
not
It's just,
happening.
you might get a free meal. You're gonna go get maybe like a discount
Someone will
code to
buy you
buy
a
some
shot in a
shoes.
bar if they
yeah,
recognize you.
There
you're
you
like
go.
nothing I can't get in Statesville already.
Mm,
You know what I
There you
mean?
go. But if you really want to succeed in life, dude, it's just go do something real. Go work
Yeah.
and build something. Like, start a electrical company, start a plumbing company, start a service company, something that or even, something like start a hair salon like Carla, whatever. Those are things that are actually going to monetize. Like, if you really think that you're going to go on a show like this and then your life is going to change, it's not, and I never expected that, when I went on the show, um, you do get spotted and you do have conversations with some fans, but it's not like happening all the time,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. You're not getting flagged
um,
down too
I think
often.
my favorite interactions that I've had was, one, obviously you're at a bar, people buy you shots here and there,
Oh yeah.
but one of my favorite ones was like an older couple, and they were an older African American couple, and my girl and I were were sitting at a restaurant in Chicago, and they were, first of all, I'm really surprised sometimes with the reactions that people have, because I don't feel like I'm a celebrity. I just feel like I'm a normal guy, But they were there and they were like, "Oh my God, we're sitting across a celebrity, whatever." So, I just thought, and it was her birthday, this lady,
Oh wow.
and she was also like I think she had like a walker, like,
Yeah,
she
they
was
were older.
handicapped.
Okay.
So, it was really nice because they loved me, but then I ended up paying for their breakfast, but they didn't, I paid for their brunch, but I never told them that I paid for their brunch. So like, I
Damn.
just paid
Dang.
and I just left.
It's awesome.
So I just wanted them to have a good, like a kind interaction with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll always
Um,
remember that too.
yeah, yeah. And I try to, like, people that recognize me and take their time to like come and say hello and tell me that I'm very thankful for that. Like, I don't take that for granted, because at the end of the day, that's very sweet of these people to go out of their way to like say something to a normal guy, man. I'm not like anything. I was on a reality TV show living my life. Like, I wasn't
Right,
doing anything outside of
basically.
the ordinary. Yeah. And then, but another funny one was, I was in Vegas with my girl, and we were going up the escalator. So there was two escalators going up side by side, and I'm just like this, and this lady's just like staring at me, and I'm looking over, and I'm like, yeah, I know the reason she's staring
Yeah,
at me,
she
but
she
this is a little
recognized.
bit awkward. So I get to the top of the stairs, and she's like, I think I know you. Are you Wancho from Married at First Sight? I'm like, yeah, I am. But no, it's
That's
fun,
awesome.
man. But I just, if anybody's watching this that is thinking about going on reality TV because they think that it's somehow gonna miraculously make them a superstar, it's
Not
gonna change
happening.
their lives, like, it's not gonna happen. The likelihood of that happening is very small to none, and it ain't gonna happen. It ain't
Yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah,
You're not gonna be the next Kim Kardashian. I'm sorry.
man. So Juan, how is it you're in a relationship now? Like, did your girl know about you being on the show? And then if not, how did you did you just
S-
tell her that you were
So
on it, or?
so everybody's like, "Oh my God, he had a girlfriend before he
Oh
went
shit,
on the
I
show."
didn't see those comments. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's some people out there that think that I did. I didn't, like, and my girl and I have had this conversation before. I was straight up with her, like, I did meet her before the show. I did, and I met her like maybe like a couple years before the show, and we stayed friends. But I met like we were just kind of friends, and then like we really like decided to like, because she was living in Brazil, so we met. Um in the States, but we really, really met after the fact one time when she came back into the States, and she went to Virginia Beach because she has a friend that lives in not Virginia Beach, but she has a friend that lives in RVA, Richmond,
Richmond.
Richmond,
Okay.
Virginia. So when she was there working with her friend. She said, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Richmond," and I was like, "Oh, okay, like we should meet up." And she was like, "All right, let's meet up." And I was like, "Where do you want to meet?" So I sent her like some different options around the East Coast that I thought were cool, like Savannah, Georgia, Charleston, the Outer Banks, and then Virginia Beach. And then she picked the Outer Banks because of the
Because of
Netflix.
the
Yeah,
show?
the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I'd never been to the Outer Banks, and the Outer Banks are beautiful, right? So we met out there, and at the time, obviously, man, we really had a good connection, but I didn't think anything of it because she's still living in Brazil. So what are the chances that this person that lives in Brazil and I are really gonna hit it off? Like, and I did tell her, I was like, hey, it'd be awesome. I'd love to come visit you in Brazil, but I wasn't committed to anybody. At that time, I was still going through the casting process.
Okay.
But you got to remember that they're not guaranteed to get this
Well,
thing.
and you said
So
it was
like,
like 4 or 5 months for even her. Like, you gotta
yeah.
Yeah,
live your
you
So
didn't
life.
put
You
your
gotta live your.
entire life on
yeah,
hold, and
you can't put
you're
your
openly admitting right now that you had a romantic relationship prior to being on the show, dude. Oh my
God
gosh, dude,
I
forbid.
know.
scumbag,
Hey, God
I
forbid.
know.
scumbag, dude. Wow,
Yeah,
what a
but you
dirtball.
right. So you can't put your entire life
Crazy.
on hold because maybe you might go on Married at First Sight, you know? So when I
Dude,
did,
that is the douchiest. Sorry, really quick. That
Yeah,
would be
go
the
into it.
douchiest effing thing to say to a girl. Like, yeah, sorry, I can't date you right now because I
well, that's,
actually I applied for Married at First
yeah,
Sight. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it. You'd be a huge tool if
yeah,
you.
yeah. But here's the thing. So like, at the time, like, I wasn't even like, we weren't even dating. We just had a fling. We just had like a summer,
A relation,
you
just
know,
literally a friendship, relationship, whatever you want to
yeah.
call it, but it
And
wasn't
and then
serious.
and then for me, it's like, especially nowadays, man, like, you meet some girl at the beach, and how the fuck are you gonna know? And she's from Brazil. What do you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that?
exactly.
What do you know about this person? How do you not? How do you know that she doesn't have some guy back home?
Yeah.
Or how does she know that you don't have some girl back home? You know what I mean? So it's like, shit. Nowadays, people cheat on each other. You know, right down the street with the person that lives in their building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, like we had a fling and I didn't know what to think of it. I just thought it was just like I didn't know, she lives in Brazil, I'm here, and who knows, you know what I mean? So but then when it happened, when I got, when they told me I was gonna be on the show, I was straight up with this girl. I was like, hey, listen, like, I'm gonna be on this show and I'm getting married, and obviously, I honestly I didn't know that my girl now felt like any kind of really certain way about me, but she did,
Yeah.
you know? And so, I got married and things didn't go as planned, as like, the way we wanted them to go, and I reached back out to the girl I'm with now and I was like, look, like this thing didn't work out on TV, like this whole married at first sight thing didn't work out. And I didn't know that you had any kind of feelings like that toward me. I thought it was just kind of a fling,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed my time with you. So maybe like if you're still open to it, I know it's, maybe you've moved on or I don't know, but if you're still open to it, I'd love to come down to Brazil after this thing's done filming and to see you and see if we can pursue this any further. And, you know, now she's living
Rest
with
is
me.
history, dude. And listen, I think
Oh, yeah.
that approach right there. I think Jared would agree with me. Like, what a way to be honest and just keep it a buck, right? As people would say. Like, I don't get the sense, like that your personality is much different from the show from the guy I'm talking to now. Like, you seem like a genuinely positive person. I don't think you would intentionally like do any ill will or screw anybody over. Like, I don't know, you just don't seem like that type of guy. So kudos
You
for you
did
for
forget
going.
about her though.
I
You
did.
did forget
Hey,
about
dude,
her
there was
though,
a whole
dude. You
episode
forgot
called
about her,
"Don't
dude.
Forget."
You did
That
forget
I was
was,
about
gonna
her.
bring that up. There was a whole episode called "Don't
yeah.
Forget
Don't
About
forget
Carla." Like,
about
that's
Carla. Yeah.
crazy. I was like, they gave it the title too. Like,
Yeah. So
Dude,
here's
her
the deal.
face when you're just like, yeah, I was
Like,
just having fun. I kind of forgot about you.
yeah. You
Yeah,
know what? I think, you know what I'm going to blame it? You know what I'm going to blame it on? I'm going to
Jared,
blame it on,
moi?
I'm going to
You
blame
forgot
it
about
on,
moi?
yeah,
Sorry, keep going.
I'm going to blame it on ESL. You know what
ESL.
that is?
That's the sign language. ESL.
No,
No.
English is a second language.
Yeah.
Dude,
Uh,
I didn't really mean it like that. Like, what I meant was that I was just having a good
You were
time out
bulling
there
out
that
with David, dude. You
I was
guys were just
being
having a good.
present in the moment, and you
yeah, I was
happened to
just,
not be present in that moment. Yeah.
well, there was so much tension from all the different couples because everybody was so miserable. And even I think during that conversation, even she said it herself. She was like, "Oh my God, it was just so nice, such a relief to be out there in the water." And I was like, "Yeah, it was fucking nice to be out there not thinking about everything, like
Yeah.
I forgot about everything. I wasn't thinking about nothing. And I just came out like that, but whatever.
God
You
forbid.
know, it made for hey, you know what though? It made for a good title to
Yeah.
an episode. There
Yep.
you go.
Man.
Yeah. But I mean,
Awesome.
honestly, her and I, we did look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that everything was negative because she was pretty funny. Like she made me laugh on the show a lot. Like she did some funny shit. And we had some funny moments, like when we crashed the canoe,
Oh yeah.
we had a lot of good times. I mean, Carla's not like a terrible person. Her family's not terrible. Like I think it got a little bit too personal after the fact. I think maybe, you know. Um,
Oh, I don't. Do tell. I guess I don't know about that.
no, it was
Did it
some,
get-
just it got personal
Okay.
with stuff. But they're not. Carla's not a bad person. I don't have,
There's no
I don't have
ill
any,
will. You're saying like there's no like.
yeah, there's no
Yeah.
like I don't want wish negative upon her. I don't want her to fail. Like I don't spend my time thinking about like anything negative about her. It's like at the end of the day, like we were both on the show, we shared the same experience. Like, we're gonna in some way, shape, or form, like that show's gonna like connect us for forever because
Yeah.
it's gonna, it's content forever.
Right.
And I don't, I want her to be successful. I want her to, but I don't
You
really.
wish her well in her future endeavors. You know what I
There you
mean?
go. I wish her well with everything that she does. Like I don't wish any ill will upon her. I don't have any negativity towards Carla or her family. But but I still I don't feel the need to like have a friendship or a relationship, and she doesn't either. You know, like neither one of us feels the need to have any kind of. I feel neutral about her at this point in my life. You know what I mean?
Good stuff, man. Well, Juan, we appreciate you, man. I mean, I know, we were guys who just reached out to you out of the blue, but like I said, after watching a show like Married at First Sight, you watch somebody's life on reality TV, and it's nice to be able to sit down and chop it up with someone like yourself who, you got a good head on your shoulders. You seem like a good dude, and you're grinding at a lot of things that I feel like people would be inspired, minorities especially, would be inspired to kind of see the things you're building and working on, man. So I guess what can we look forward to in the future for you, man? Like what are some of your goals and what's next for you?
Yeah.
Would you
So I
say?
mean, obviously, I think just keep focusing on my business. I'm not again like I talked to these people from the green event, green curtain events. Like they asked me if about influencing in this. I'm like, I'm not trying to be an influencer, man. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not. I'm not. You're not gonna be like. You're not gonna see me creating content. Like it's not. That's not my focus. My focus is like on building. My business, helping other entrepreneurs, helping minorities get started with their businesses. If they have any questions, anybody that's watching this, if you're trying to start a company, and I mean whether you're a minority or not, you can always reach out to me and ask me what I did. I can kind of give you a roadmap of my journey. At the end of the day, I think helping others helps yourself more than anything. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what my focus is on, just focusing on the person I'm with, and then just having a happy life, building something that I could leave for my kids in the future.
Maybe
I have them.
Colombia getting to the final match in the World
Oh my
Cup too.
God, that
That
would be
too?
amazing. Colombia going to the World Cup final, that would be incredible.
Heck
But
yeah.
we'll see. It's tough. You got to go through some really tough matches to get there.
It's been fun to watch, man. I know it's that time of year
Yep.
for me. I'm like an NBA and an NFL guy, so the fact that I got the World Cup to keep me busy in the summer, man,
Nice,
I,
dude.
I
I'm
love
glad
it.
that you guys are enjoying it.
Yes, sir. But yeah, Juan, no, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you for coming on. Thanks for sharing your story and journey. And yeah, we're gonna be locked in with you, man. We keep up with each other on social media, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Likewise. And if you guys are ever here in Chicago, please let me know. I'd love to, and we treat you guys to dinner or
I'm
whatever.
coming out actually. I'll be coming out with my family July 9th to the 19th. So
Let me know, man. I'd love
cool,
to meet you in person.
awesome, brother.
Be awesome,
All
dude.
right.
Heck yeah. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Guys, appreciate
Thanks,
y'all.
Juan. Take care,
All
man.
right. Take it easy.
See ya.